welcome back to the NFQL, your side-based favorite football league during this quarantine. We have got a huge matchup on deck as the Buffalo Bills look to avenge the 2019 wildcard loss against the Houston Texans on the road against J.J. Watt and these Houston Texans. I'm Maniac from Trainwreck Sports, joined as always by my co-host Dan Gambino from Code Sox. And look out, folks, because we finally made it big. We've got the viral sensation from across the nation, Chris Collins in the booth. Chris, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey, thanks for having me, fellas. Really excited to be here. Really humbled and grateful for the opportunity to get in the booth with you fellas.
No doubt. I mean, there have been such illustrious names as Drew Gear, Chris Holbert, Dan Gambino, and Maniac in this booth. Dan, this looks to be a big matchup. Are the Bills' emotions going to be a little bit too much early in this matchup, or do you think McDermott's got them ready to bear down and ready to get a big W?
Real question is, are my emotions all jacked up? Because I circled this one as soon as the schedule came out. Doesn't want the revenge on them. These players are jacked up. They're ready to roll. We got opening kickoff going on right now. Folks, buckle up. We're getting revenge.
And we will see if we get joined by some Texans loyalists, but we'll see in that, man. It is a 2021 Week 4 matchup. So, Chris, I know this is your first rodeo with us. Obviously, we simmed last season. The Bills made it to the AFC Championship game before ultimately being down by the Denver Broncos. They've done a couple moves, that you will be looking forward in the future as a Bills fan, re-signing or extending Trey White and such. What, I guess, Chris, are you looking forward to? We don't want to assume, obviously, nobody knows anything with sports, but what are you looking forward to most in this coming NFL season?
I appreciate the question. I'm definitely looking forward to that Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs connection. I'm really looking forward to that to take off, and maybe a runner-up to that, the Josh Allen and John Brown, who will be open sesame if they are double covering Diggs, which they probably will be. So that combination has really got me fired up, as well as just the defense picking up what they left off last year. They were really, really great last year, and I think they were underrated. They finished top 2, top 3. So I'm excited to see the defense put some people down in the backfield. I think they're going to get to the quarterback a little more this year. Scary Jerry Hughes. He looks like he's out for blood this year, so I want to see that happen.
No doubt about it. I think that whole defense is going to have something to prove. Like you said, a top 5 unit last year, but didn't have a lot of style points, didn't have a lot of flair in the way they got it done, so kind of went under the radar. Funny that you mentioned Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, because the last 2 days, it's been wide receivers that aren't on the Bills or haven't played for the Bills yet that have been making the big news. We had yesterday's story with Sammy Watkins talking about his time with the organization, how he was pretty much a party animal. And then you had the wide receivers of the rookie class, as well as Zach Moss, working out with Josh Allen and Matt Barkley today. Dan, what's the bigger story to you?
One that matters. The rookies working out with Josh and them being together, being able to meet each other and learn little parts and intricate parts of the game and talk and discuss playbook and everything else. And those guys bonding, way more important than any running back, ex-running back, Marshawn Lynch, any receiver, Sammy Watkins, talking bad about Buffalo, talking about the city, talking about their own personal situation. Just, we want to move on, forward. Bills team, we're ready for them to play tomorrow, and it's awesome seeing those guys together.
Who could forget? In my day, the OG Buffalo trash talker was Willis McGahee. Nothing to do there but go out and try and get girls. Shout out Willis. Shout out to you. Josh Allen dropping back. And I'll tell you what, I didn't like Willis McGahee, but if there's 2 things that I hate, one thing I hate, it's people missing out. Go ahead and comment who you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown during this drive or during the game at all. Comment who you think it's going to be for a chance to win a $25 gift card to a local restaurant of your choosing, courtesy of Trainwreck Sports and Gratwick Gaming. Again, it's just that simple, folks. Bills first touchdown. Comment who you think is going to score it for a chance to win a $25 gift card, courtesy of Trainwreck Sports and Gratwick Gaming.
Where do we comment, Zach? Can you comment on Twitter?
It's good content, so I got to put it front and center right now. If you're not following my guy who's in the booth right now, Chris, C-O-1-1-I-N-S, Chris Collins, you are missing out on some of the best Bills content, not just during this quarantine, but that, I've seen in recent memory, truth be told.
Thank you, dude. Thank you for shouting me out. Appreciate that.
Well, make sure you're following along with our guy, just like you should make sure you're following Gratwick Gaming. You into games? You like game nights? You into trying to play some video games for money during this quarantine? Then follow along Gratwick Gaming game night. There's going to be Call of Duty, Rocket League, Fortnite, Madden, all kinds of fun stuff. Keep an eye out. You see the flyer there. 2v2 Rocket League Quarantine Cup. Make sure you're signing up via the Discord Gratwick Gaming channel. It's not too late. It's plenty of time to do so. It is too late, however, for the Bills to pick up a set of first downs on this drive as they'll punt it away, gentlemen.
Zach, you know, we've talked about this in some games in the past, and Bohorquez puts up a bomb right there. A bomb.
Oh, we love Bojo bombs.
It's a Bojo bomb. You know, we start off slow, give that gift card away on the first drive. The defense came out and took care of business. You guys were talking about a top 5 defense, and there wasn't a lot of flair. There wasn't a lot of this. Go 3 and out. I'm happy. You don't have to have interceptions. You don't have to have anything. The offense off the field. Let's see if they can get a turnover here so we can get the boys back out there, give away a $25 gift card.
And yeah, and what I like, just to clarify, obviously I love the Bills defense. I would take what they did last year again this year for certain, especially losing a Lorenzo Alexander. It was just amazing to me the way they were able to say, you know, for example, pressure the quarterback. It didn't really rely on blitzing like it would with, say, a Rex Ryan's defense or someone else's that's a little bit more exotic, a little bit more aggressive. They stayed with a very quote-unquote bland defense, but hey, it was like a turkey sandwich for lunch. It got the job done.
True story. And with the addition of Norman, we're going to have more coverage sacks. So it could be an amazing present for all of Bills Mafia. Norman is the Norman of old.
I think I saw a story about Norman. I don't know if you caught this, Chris, but he said he was not expecting an all-pro year this year in this Bills defense. He said he was expecting an all-world year.
All world, yeah. He's gonna beat out all the wide receivers from the other countries as well. So that's really a great attitude to have.
Wide receivers running out routes in Spain right now, just give it up.
Yeah, dude. The CFL dudes can just be quiet.
He's got something to prove. Texans able to pick up a first down, though. They'll be out closer to midfield. Bills seem to be keeping the Texans in front of them, though. You see that Deshaun Watson, 4 for 5 for 16 yards. I don't think that scares you as a Bills fan.
Definitely not. This Asante Samuel guy. Where is he coming from?
So that's the thing, Chris. So now we're 2 years in the future. Last year, we picked A.J. Epinesa, which was 2020. Now in the 2021 draft, we added Asante Samuel Jr. out of Asante Samuel's womb, I guess. I don't even know what's story. But we've got Asante Samuel Jr., the former great Patriot. I mean, I wouldn't mind adding him if he's got that pizzazz and flair.
Love that, dude. Yeah, love that for the Bills. I mean, I guess Josh Norman skipped town, but I think he's going to have a big year this year. I think it was a bad fit for him in Washington, D.C. So for him to come up here, be reunited with his boy, McDermott, I think they're going to get back to business and look for him to have a couple pick sixes this year, dude.
No doubt about it. I think he can be very aggressive in that defense, and maybe that could be the flair and pizzazz that we're looking for, Dan. Because basically the Madden sim took over, Chris. They got rid of Norman after his 1-year deal. But Dan, I think you would testify that in the 1 year we saw from Norman in this Bills defense, not only did he have a ton of sacks, but he was pretty good in coverage as well.
The bend but don't break mentality, and it gives him the opportunity to cheat a little bit more when you have the safety help over the top. And if they can get aggressive and do a lot of the corner blitzes that we've seen, and that was a good stick by Samuel. If they could do that,
short of the sticks.
If they could do that with him, whew, the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Folks, don't be silly. Comment on who you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown of the game. It could be a defensive player. We've seen that before. It'll most likely be an offensive player. I see we're closing in on 100 live on Facebook. It's time to turn up. It's time to eat for free. There's one thing better than food, and that's free food. So make sure you're commenting who you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown for a chance to win a $25 gift card to your favorite local restaurant, courtesy of Gratwick Gaming. And I'll tell you what, as far as field position, it doesn't get much worse than this, boys.
No, this is the drive they're going to punch it in, dude. I can tell. 99 yards, nothing. It's nothing.
No sweat. And you know what, Zach? It's not just who are we going to feed, but it's a triple D.
Triple D, and of course, to our good friend Chris, that might be Guy Fieri's Diners, Dive-Ins, and Dives. But In the NFQL, that means a double dipper drive. And that means if the Bills score a touchdown on this drive, not only does someone win a $25 gift card to a local restaurant of their choosing, they will win a free Bills Mafia AR shirt courtesy of Gratwick Gaming, 26 shirts and code sockets. I think we're going to do 2 separate winners. I'm awaiting from our producers on that, but things are keeping rocking and rolling, and it's third down coming up. Are we going to get Stephon Diggs the ball? He's been very vocal, gentlemen, that he's been frustrated with his lack of touches this week.
Need to utilize the middle of the field again. That's where they find the most success.
Slings it over the middle, and shout out Pam's brother, Cole Beasley, picking up the first down, and we are out over the 20-yard line.
Dude, somebody responded to one of my tweets with like a whole fan fiction thing about I should do a video with Cole Beasley.
That's a fire idea.
Did you read that? That this lady like planned out a whole thing. And I'm flattered by all the ideas, but people are more than welcome to shoot their own videos. I mean, the competition is wide open. We're all on the same team here.
No, we want to see the best of the best, Chris. We don't want a C+. We want an A-. Let's go. We're rocking and rolling. They're running on first down, and I'll tell you what, I know somewhere Drew Gear is drinking a beer, and he's happy because, Dan, so far, I haven't seen that I formation once.
How you spoke it into existence. Drew's shirt just came off. He might have thrown the beer can at the wall, might be taking a shot of whiskey. He's mad you even brought it up because I think you spoke it into existence.
No way. Daboll is staying aggressive. It's going to be pedal to the metal, Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift style here in Houston as we are rolling. We got 2nd and 8 for these Bills. A lot of storylines, though, coming up with the trade deadline, guys. Hyde, Diggs, Teron Johnson, Brown, Hughes, Croft, Phillips, all on expiring contracts. Anyone specifically from that group that you guys would prioritize on re-signing?
Scary Jerry, big time. He's like a real heart of the locker room guy. He's one of the only people left from the Kyle Williams era. And he's just a leader, and they got to double team him. That's why everyone else got those sacks last year, Shaq and Jordan. They only got those sacks because Jerry was getting double teamed. So keep Jerry around. Let him retire a Bill. It's been a great thing having him around. And you know, we need someone left from that era to just to call our friend.
No doubt about it. I mean, I think there would be a lot of people against that idea because, you know, obviously he's aging and people hate age. There's a lot of ageism in the NFL, and we all know that's very unfair. But at the same time, I mean, he's been a huge part of shout out Resurgence Brewery, the resurgence of this Bills culture and everything. Yes, it did come during the Rex Ryan era. It was kind of a little bit crazy, kind of getting personal fouls every single game. But he's kind of changed. He's matured. He's like Jax Teller season 1 Sons of Anarchy versus season 5. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Let's see.
There we go.
Are we still? All right.
Oh, we are rocking. We're rolling. We need a third down stop here, boys. Turn up. And that is a stop. Joe Poe, Jordan Poyer, you may have seen him working out. He's been going crazy with crew photos, and he makes a big stop. Deshaun Watson, you might have went to Clemson, but you weren't a Tiger King on that play. That'll bring up 4th down, and the Texans will be forced to punt, gentlemen.
Yeah, I can't be held responsible for not laughing at these ridiculous.
It's good. I know something's there. It makes me feel like a little bit less of a lunatic.
Yeah, dude. I mean, give yourself credit. You're very quippy. You're very witty. People are numb to it sometimes. Not me.
I just tell people my brain is wired incorrectly. It's not like a great thing. Like, it's just how I came out of the oven.
Dude, mental health, the spectrum, it's all relevant. Asperger's isn't a bad disease.
True. Respect to everyone out there grinding. And shout out to everyone, as we said at the top of the broadcast, staying safe, staying healthy during this quarantine, enjoying the NFQL with us. We're just short of 100 on Facebook. We're rocking and we're rolling, and we are still looking for that first Bills touchdown, folks. That first Bills touchdown is going to get somebody $25 to a local restaurant they're choosing, courtesy of Trainwreck Sports and Gratwick Gaming. So just make sure you're commenting who you think it's going to be, who you think, how they're going to score. It could all be exciting. Speaking of exciting, that was an amazing throw by Josh Allen into that window, boys.
Triple coverage. Don't worry about it. Josh has got you.
Triple coverage. Josh has got you. B's daddy on the reception. He's got the baby Bjorn, and he's got his hands around that one. A first down. And there it is. Our favorite, the I formation.
Ooh,
It worked. It finally worked.
Didn't go to high school, but Devin Singletary gets the Bills a first down across midfield.
Oh, and our boy is mad and happy at the same time. Definitely sitting there screaming no, 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 and then yes, yes, yes. So let's go. Keep moving
That's
the
kind
chain.
of Bills football in 6 words, though. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Like, you could go with the 5, no one circles the wagons, but why not just say 6? No, 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 yes, yes, yes. Clap, clap, clap. Josh Allen is crushed. That reminded me of that 4th down play that we had in Houston, which was an absolute disaster.
Not rehashing. Not rehashing.
I'm just saying I had the self-masochism or whatever it's referred to as to go back and look at that play, and we had 4 linemen blocking 1 Houston Texan. It was not a recipe for success. But speaking of recipes for success, obviously some people leave Buffalo. It happens. It's a natural occurrence. Planet Earth. Shout out David Attenborough. Chris, you ventured out to the West Coast after, growing up in the greatness that is Western New York. You had to go spread the great message across the nation. I know you were talking about coming back a couple weeks ago, talking about food to line up. What are you looking up there? What food are you missing? And what else are you looking forward to when you come back, obviously, to visit?
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, I've been spreading the good word of Sean McDermott around the country, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing my family and friends. It's going to be an interesting time seeing what I can do being back there. Like, can I even go get a beer somewhere? But I'm going to be back for the 4th of July. I'm going to just brave the plains, and I want to get some chicken wings, man. The chicken wings in LA are very not great, and I'm a chicken wing snob. I deserve to be one. You know what I mean? I grew up as a chicken wing, sensei, being trained with the best taste buds. I'm a big Elmo's fan, so I got to go to Elmo's. I had beef with their bathroom, though. Their bathroom was just rough, but someone told me they redid it, so.
When you have top tier wings in Buffalo, like Elmo's does, basically everything else is allowed to be rough about your establishment.
Yeah.
There's really no clear rules.
You're right, but it's like, you think they would give back to everybody being like, oh man, we love it here, and like, yeah, well, piss before you come.
You know what it is? It's like a recipe for success. People are like, why isn't Bill Belichick a nicer coach? And it's just like, well, this has gotten it done. And they're probably looking that way about their bathroom. Shout out to Elmo's. We got to try them on wing reviews. We tried to set them up a couple times, but we wanted to save them for a season finale. It's been rough sledding in more ways than one.
Definitely, dude. I love Buffalo. Besides the wings, I don't really know what else to try. I feel like chicken wings are all I need to eat back there. I mean, LA's got some really good Mexican food. People are asking me, you gonna go to Mighty Taco? I like Mighty, but come on.
I'll go hand to the sky with Lloyd's, and even like I live in the ETS neighborhood. I mean, I haven't been to Mighty in a year plus. Like,
it's a very like high school, college. Like, oh, I love this place, and like you're kind of like.
It's just steakout the same way because it was something you could eat. It tasted great, and you had no repercussions after. Now that you've grown up, it's like there are dividends.
Yeah, now more like $6 in my pocket. I can like afford a $7 burrito.
Hey, it's a buffito now. And obviously we don't want to get too personal. As we roll on to the second quarter, by the way, a huge stop. Jordan Poyer up and run stuff and says, Rachel Bush, give me that selfie. That's a big stop for a loss by Joe. So we don't want to get like too invasive of your privacy, but like Chris, obviously these videos have taken off like wildfire. A lot of people know you're from Western New York. I don't want to give too much info. You attended Canisius at one point.
Dude, give it away. Put my social security number out there, dude. Do your thing.
7268.
Pete, wait, I got a pen. Go ahead.
Is Anthony no, but we are rock and rolling. What was like the OG inspiration? Was it birthed out of like because it feels like they started in the quarantine, but I feel like you were also doing them like before that. You've obviously been doing content for years and years, but what was what was the one match where you're like, this is gonna be great? Like you knew it was gonna be good.
Well, I saw Joey Molinaro doing all these like videos, and I thought, I'm a real actor in LA, and this guy's a dude in Indianapolis just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall, and I said, I got spaghetti to throw. So I figured there was a niche open to make Bills fans laugh, and being from Buffalo, ooh, great
Micah Hyde to make Bills fans laugh. Micah Hyde laughs into Sean Watson's face and picks off that pass on 3rd and 14. The Bills will take over at their own 40. Joey Molinaro, by the way, is I said that you're Hansel. He is Hansel. He is hotter than a muffin.
He is fantastic, dude. I really am a big fan of him. I've talked to him a couple times. His advantage is having the Barstool mob behind him, so every time he sneezes, it gets 1 million views. So I have more than enough respect for him, making that happen. He's also like really kind of cross-pollinating. He's like a big Steelers guy, but he's in Indy, then he likes LSU, and he's over here interviewing Pacers players, and he's all over the board. I'm just like, I like the Bills, no one else wants to hear anything else from me. I'm going to come clean. I'm not obsessed with like every sport. I don't wake up and watch SportsCenter. I watch a lot of movies, and I like writing TV shows and stuff, so I have more than enough respect for him, but the thing that got me started was trying to be kind of like him for a second, and I just wanted to do like a GR, different characters from WGR, and that's what the first one was. And I worked at the Bills in 2014, and I always thought it was so respectable how John Murphy puts up with all the BS that they call in for. They're just like, people call in and blurt things out, and he just has to take it. So,
No doubt. When I talk about like just interacting with anybody, when anybody asks me questions about the Bills, even now, I could not imagine having a radio show or any type of outlet where a general Bills fan could call in for 15 to 17 years of the drought and just like basking in it. Like I would have definitely lost my mind.
Dude, yeah, 3 hours a day. That's so intense. It's like it's April. The Bills haven't been in the playoffs in 15 years. Like, what are you talking about?
You're laughing, but that was like 3 years ago, right? Or like 4 years.
Used to have a whiner line. Used to have a line where people can call in and leave a message.
I think they still have that. Yeah, the whiner line is the GOAT for sure. Because whining is great. Let's face it. I mean, even when I see like Trainwreck, like I hate
a whine right now. That's a pick. It's going 30, 30. And
a nicely developing drive ends in a pick six. Texans take it back 75 yards for the first score of the game. Eric Reed out of LSU, I believe. Touchdown Texans. They lead 6-0 with the extra point betting. Just a bad throw by Josh. Plain and simple.
Yeah, the real Josh would never make that throw. So let's be real.
No doubt. Hey, I mean, to be honest, you never saw him make a throw right into somebody's chest last year. I mean, even with the picks, even then they were deflected or something like that. So
yeah, that was a Jameis.
It'll be very interesting to see with the confidence that Josh developed at the end of last year, guys, when he was playing well, fourth quarter Josh, etc. If that pours over and he continues to build on it, or if he takes like a little bit of a step back with being aggressive and everything, and he pays the dividends for that. It'll be very interesting to see how that plays out for him in year 3.
Yeah, will people be in the stands? What's your take on that? Do you think they'll do a half capacity? Is it too touchy to talk about?
Well, first off, we disclaimer, it is touchy to talk about, but we're going to talk about it. Code Sox, we are rocking one. Check them out, codesox.com. Also, sure, we got the Bills coming up on a drive after the pick six. Will there be fans in the stands? I am inclined to say, as of now, no. For September and October at least. I would say that there will definitely not be full stands for those games. There's been talk, and I've been seeing about maybe picking a certain amount, like a number of fans that can come to these games spread out amongst the stands. It sounds ridiculous, but that's the reality we live in. Obviously, I think the big thing, without getting too into the politics and everything, is that it's all about a vaccine or something that like we see with people don't have to worry about it anymore. Obviously the biggest thing right now as far as restarting public events and everything like that. And you want to see how some of these reopenings go as well. But my opinion, gents, and I don't know where you're at, because Dan, you being down in Florida, you kind of do see things a little differently. I'm not saying that as a joke. It's legitimately a different world down there right now than it is in Western New York or maybe even where Chris is at. What do you guys see as far as fans for this season?
Well, I've had a couple conversations with different agents, and I've heard middle to end of October as far as before stands will have anybody in them. Let's get something straight. Fall can't even start until all of the states open up. One's reporting anywhere. Every major city in the NFL opens up. So I want to be positive, and I just want to have football. If I'm not in the stands and I have to watch it at home, it stink for the fans. I just want to be able to have something on TV. If that takes us staying home, I'm all for it.
You can black out at home very safely, as you know, Zach.
Oh, you're talking to the guy with a PhD in it right now. Speaking of which, to be honest, live streaming just like this was not a thing that was so big before this quarantine started. But now you're seeing, even other outlets, I don't want to say their name because there are competitors, but there's a lot of streams out there trying to draw attention to sports and everything. It'll be very interesting to see once sports come back. Oh no, fumble, and they're going the other way.
Oh boy, this is brutal. Can you just reset this, dude? Can you hit the reset?
I know, sometimes you do want to just rage quit. It's brutal, but back to if you got the Texans defense in fantasy, congratulations this week. You got Jernigan taking it back to the house. So back-to-back scores for the Texans defense, no bueno, and the Bills will be facing a 14-0 deficit after this extra point try.
Let's pivot to the Sammy Watkins thing, dude. What was your favorite part of that article? Did anything stick out to you? Was anything make it onto your bulletin board?
I don't want to talk too hype, but I got a text from a guy the first night that Sammy Watkins was in Buffalo that he was at Bambino doing drugs. I don't mean to I'm not trying to spread rumor or heresy or anything like that. You can say whatever you want, but I knew he was partying from day one. I wish that was more of breaking news to me, but it was kind of just the obvious, and it kind of wore off of me because he started off his 2 years. He was basically a 1,000-yard receiver both years when we didn't have great play. By the way, blocked. So I did jinx it. Are they going back with it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. 13-2, boys. Who's got the 2 in the squares?
Here does. He's got 20. He's got 2 in the squares.
Well, here's got 2 in the squares, and the Bills are on the scoreboard. Thank goodness it's not first Bills score for this back, because I would think that nobody had Poyer on a 2-point conversion block. But they bring it back all the way, and they'll score. Dan, were you able to take a look at that Sammy Watkins article at all?
I glanced over it. I don't get involved in all of that anymore. I'm past the whole personal glorification to get attention and to put everything down and I get the problems. Problems are problems, right? But I don't wrap my arms around it anymore. Learn to shut it out. Tune out the noise.
And you can't be worried about problems when you've got the good news of the process that Chris Collins is spreading all across the nation with his videos and with his great mindset. Bill's offense is going to take the field. They've had touchdowns on their last 2 drives, but they've been for the other team, so that's not exactly how you want to draw that up, folks. 8:26 to go in the second quarter. We're still looking for the first Bills touchdown. Shooting over 50 on Facebook. Let's get up to 100. Bills Mafia, where the hell are you at? Comment who you think is going to score the first Bills touchdown. You could win $25 to your favorite local restaurant, courtesy of Trainwreck Sports and Gratwick Gaming. We're rolling along. I was going off on a point before we got scoop and scored on that last drive. By the way, awesome completion to Devin Singletary. They'll be up towards midfield. We might see different tactics. I know I've talked to restaurants, and they're looking at, in the Western New York area, patios and outdoor events for the October, September games. One big thing that had a news story yesterday or the day before was the transit drive-in. Chris, I don't know if you've ever been there back in the day.
Plenty of times. Plenty of follies.
An awesome atmosphere. And I'm thinking watching a Bills road game, a Bills road primetime game with people around you to celebrate in a tailgate atmosphere, that could have potential.
Might fly home for that, Zach.
Seriously, I mean, just being out there, like, I have friends with RVs, and they're telling me, yeah, the drive-in would definitely be the play. Speaking of the play, Zach Moss will bring us down to the 33-yard line. A big gain by Zach Moss, the boss. As you see, he's averaging over 9 yards per carry so far out of Utah. And the big story, of course, of the day, that everybody was working out. Saw Josh Allen working out with the new receivers as well as Matt Barkley. Zach Moss was there as well. It's interesting. It's a weird society. I mean, typically we would already be seeing OTAs. We'd already be getting hype, but this is really our first peek at JA17 with the newbies.
I'm kind of disappointed they didn't invite me. You know that I'm in LA. You know they're in Orange County. I could easily make the drive and throw some passes, but it's all good. I'll this train never stops, Zach.
This train never stops. Now, my rumor, my inside source at the workout did say that the Josh Allen "What's Happening" remix was on blast on repeat. Courtesy of DJ
Joke of the day, presented by
Josh Allen "What's Happening" remix. We got the Office Buffalo branch. We got Law and Order Bills Mafia. We got Chris Your Enthusiasm. All courtesy of @Chris CO11INS Chris Collins on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you're following him for Bills content. And make sure you're following @codes_socks on Twitter and Instagram. We have a sock drive. What can they win on this drive, Dan?
Autographed pair, Stevie Johnson socks. Let's give them out.
Are you kidding me? The ultimate fly guy himself.
Tell me they're used. Tell me he's worn them.
Charging down the field?
Tell me
We'll get you out a couple pairs, Chris. Link up with you. We'll get you out a pair.
Steve's my guy, dude. I went to his wedding renewal vows last year. It was a great time. He's got a bowling alley in his house. The rumors are true.
He's a basketball court in his backyard.
Dude, he's got a lot of sports at his house. He's got a pool. He's got a full bowling alley, dude. I don't mean like a Mickey Mouse, like duck pin bowling. He's got like transit lanes in his house. I couldn't get over it. I'm not over it.
That doesn't shock me, though, just because Stevie's like a technique guy, even when it goes down to his route running, so it doesn't surprise me that he's all about all those other sports. Basketball, obviously, he's big into. Now you're telling me bowling. Does he go straight at the pins, or is he going like pro curve trying to get the 1 into the 3?
I didn't actually bowl with him. He just flicked on the lights, and I looked at it, and I just lost my mind for like 10 minutes, and I was like, there's a bowling alley in here, dude. It's got chandeliers, like TV screens, and like, we didn't bowl. I was just like blown away by the bowling alley. It was amazing.
Like, now that I watch so many like true crime documentaries, I wish that you and Stevie were brought into court to like break that down. Like, and then he turned on the lights, and what did you say? There's a bowling alley in here, dude. It would be hysterical to hear that.
It was wild, dude. It was like, we rounded the corner, and he just kind of opened this door. I was going to be like, oh, what's in here? Like a couple, couches. It was a full bowling alley, bro. It was no warning. He didn't tell me he was coming.
Like, and to him, that's probably like nothing. So he didn't give you any buffer. He's like, oh, check out like this walk-in closet I have, and it has like 5 games.
Yeah, his son was like in the corner, like playing video games on a TV. I was like, does he see the bowling alley, dude? Does he care? No one cares.
You should do like a David Chappelle against Prince type thing with the bowling alley with you and Stevie Johnson spoof. That would be hilarious.
I'm down, dude. I'll make
Over the
it.
field, complete end zone touchdown. Buffalo, Smoke Brown breaks the goal line, and the Bills will cut this lead, pending with the extra point, down to either 4 or 3.
We'll know in a minute, and it's awesome because the fans are going to choose it, and they're going to choose the winner of the sock drive too. Chris, our guy, is going to tally up all of the names, all the people who got John Brown. I'm just going to give something away to them.
Wow.
All right, so we have 5 John Brown selections. Zach, down.
We've got it rocking. We've got it rolling. The Bills are back in this game. Make sure you get the Bills yeah, make sure you get just on Twitter. Let them know we are back in this game. How many do we have for John Brown?
5 John Browns.
5 John Browns. Folks, 5 John Brown entries. Do me a favor. Comment in the chat 1 through 5. The first number that gets 3 votes is the winner. So we're looking for 3 votes, 1 through 5. Comment away, folks.
Wow. You have the power to do that, dude?
Dude, I can literally command. Well, but you know what I command is because we have this great army of Bills Mafia watching. Shout out to our crowds on Twitch. Shout out to our crowds on YouTube. Shout out to Twitter. Shout out to Facebook. We are rocking and we are rolling.
What
I
a
don't know
shout out list.
Say that. I've said it about 50 times already. 4 or 5. We got numbers pouring in. What Madden is this? It's Madden 20. We've simulated and added the rosters. We got 2 4s and 2 nothing else. So we're looking 4s closing in. Robert Williams with the 1. This is a hell of a race, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's it gonna be?
Ones are coming up late.
Ones with the late push. Meanwhile, Texans are driving to answer back. They're up past midfield. I don't know if my lagging or what we got. We're stuck at 1s and 4s. We are 1 pick away from a winner, folks. Who's going to win a $25 gift card? It is number 4, Gratwick. Who is the winner?
Is that an interception?
Micah Hyde? Take it away?
Oh my God, he's got sticky fingers.
And I'll tell you what, if you lock the Bills in on the live line at plus 14 after that turnover, you are looking genius right now.
That's exactly
Just
what I
playing
did
for
there.
that contract, man. Playing for that contract. 3 interceptions.
He's saying, "Don't get rid of me. I gotta host the Micah Hyde softball game at Salem Field in 2022."
You know, dynamic
Okay.
name. Love that name.
You better type out that name before I call him Tinder again.
Oh.
There was some guy named Dinder, and I called him Tinder. Wasn't my most shining
Zach,
moment.
are you bummed out that the Micah Hyde softball game was canceled, considering you were throwing out the first pitch?
I mean, Dan was the one posing with Micah and Josh on the pitcher's mound, so I'm more feeling for him. But real quick, shout out to Crease Applewhite. You are the winner of the $25 gift card to your favorite local restaurant, courtesy of Trainwreck Sports and Gratwick Gaming and Code Sox. Follow up with the DM to Trainwreck Sports, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook to claim your prize. Congratulations to Crease Applewhite. You got to be in it to win it, gents. And speaking of being in it to win it, there was a lot of controversy last year, Dan. Josh Allen eliminated from the home run derby, gets voted back in, and then wins it.
Hey, listen, I was happy. I was okay with it either way. Either him or Poyer winning it. Good for the pictures, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, that's the photo op you're looking for. Poyer was smashing the ball.
I thought
they
Milano
both
was going to win. Milano looks like he can snap the bat over his knee.
Poyer was actually drafted by the Marlins.
Chris, in all fairness to all these guys, like when they got their torque and the timing right, it was like missile launching.
All of them. I think
Did
Allen
they shorten up the fence?
won over, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. I think Allen got one over the far end. 4th and inches, they're going to kick a field goal courtesy of Tyler Bass, and they're going to make this a 13-12 game. I know that Bill's Twitter probably wouldn't love that on 4th and inches. Just because, guys, it's been like when Josh Allen runs a QB sneak, it's even when he stops, he still gets it. We are calculating the Code Sox tally, folks. As we roll along in this first half, it's been a roller coaster. 13-0, the Texans jumped out to a lead. The Bills have answered back with the last 2 scores, a touchdown and a field goal to go with that 2-point conversion that they returned. Chris, are the Bills going to complete this comeback? Are they going to come out strong in the second half? Get a stop here. What do you think?
Well, they got Uncle Mo. I'm assuming you're asking me, not Dilla Chris. They got Uncle Mo on their side, dude. Momentum. And that's all they need. You know, the Bills are a real momentum type team. So, you know, if it's close at halftime like this, we were down 2 scores. We've come back like this. Second half might be a barn burner as far as I'm concerned.
No doubt. I think they're going to be quote unquote playing for keeps. Sean McDermott has never backed down from a double dog dare. So Bill O'Brien is going to come out in the second half. We're going to see who the big dog is when it comes to eating. 2nd and 3, 43-yard line, 60 seconds left on the clock. It's pretty crucial that the Bills stop him here short of field goal territory for what you said, Chris, that Uncle Mo. You cannot overrate that momentum in sports.
If you won that gift card, where are you cashing in, Zach? You taking that over to Filetta's? Where are you going?
Oh my gosh, Filetta's would be bomb. That's actually Lance Leipold's favorite wing spot. Shout out UB football. I would say, you know what? I gotta support our spot, Giacobbi's Cucina Sita on Allen Street. Some of the best Italian food. I don't care, bang for your buck. You can go to Olive Garden, you can go to Salvatore's, you can do whatever you want.
No one's going to Olive Garden, dude.
And speaking of
Micah Hyde pick
by Micah Hyde.
The hat
Unreal.
trick! The hat trick! Hats rain down on the field.
That is incredible. 3 picks for Micah Hyde in the first half.
Unbelievable. And we have a winner for the Code Sox, Stevie Johnson Sox. Going to be to Tyrone James. So message us at Code Sox. You're the winner of autographed Stevie Johnson Sox.
Wow, and we have a very special shout out in the chat. Call. Christopher, thank you for beautiful flowers today. I gotta say something. We were seeing some MVPs and some pro efforts on the field, but there is no bigger effort than sending those flowers. Shout out to my man CC. Chris, are you all nervous? Are you freezing up?
Me?
Yeah. No
I
work
got nervous.
on that flower send?
I'm sorry, I had to swat a fly. It was in my face. You sent me flowers today?
No, Call says thank you for the flowers.
Is my mom really saying that on Facebook?
On Twitter, Christopher, thank you for the beautiful flowers today. This is like, I don't get emotional during these Bills games typically till the fourth quarter, but I'm tearing up right now.
Dude, you gotta come out to LA and get a career. You're wasting your talents. You gotta be out here.
No, I'm not going to South Beach. I'm staying in my nice Erie County climate where I know it's dependable.
The weather in Buffalo is not dependable.
Not until July to August, right?
Yeah, well, you can depend on really bad weather in Buffalo from November to May.
But yeah, I'm in Tampa, so I know all about that.
Oh wow, how's it going down there? How'd you get down there?
I moved down here about 15 years ago, and just missed the food, family, friends, football. Just the 4 Fs.
Where do you live in Tampa Bay? What do you do?
I own a sock company, and I work for a subsidiary of Citibank.
Beautiful. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful down here. I just wish that everybody would stay home and stop thinking about themselves, but I'm not going to get into that.
Well, I'm glad that's how you feel, because, you never know who you're going to talk to these days.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone's got their own things. Florida's it's the no state sales tax, no state tax, so
wow.
a lot of that's done by tourism, helps us out with all that, so them opening up doesn't shock me, but I'm just being smart about it.
Yeah, dude, I feel that. Totally smart.
As I hope everybody at home is staying safe, enjoying this NFLQ Buffalo Bills Madden Sim. They look to close out the first half. For your first time watching this, you gotta admit it's pretty fun.
Yeah, dude, I'm impressed. I'm impressed the Bills have come back like this. I was looking to really walk out after the 13-0 start. I was ready to get in my car and beat the traffic, but this is easy to watch. I mean, also Zach's keeping the puns and the alliterations rolling, because this train never stops.
I think you're hired, man.
I don't know how you guys are continuing like such professionals. Honestly, seeing Chris's mom in the chat, thank him. It was probably even sadder than Titanic, Hardball, and The Notebook all put together. I'd say the 3 saddest movies I've ever seen, all of those put together do not total the emotion that I just went through seeing the Collins family reunite over Restream. So shout out to Restream for reuniting families during this quarantine time. We've got a ton of action happening week 4 here in the NFQL. As you see, Jaguars up on the Patriots. Trevor Lawrence, the man with 2 first names, taking care of business as he goes against the Patriots. And then we've got the Buffalo Bills South taking care of Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins as the Panthers won 26-16 over the Dolphins. Again, the week 4 matchup rolling on. Chris, can you give the people a little teaser? Anything in the works? Anything in the funnel coming out soon?
Well, I wanna get your feedback on this. So I did the Curb Your Enthusiasm video, and it's one of my favorite ones to do. I like Curb a lot. I watch it, and I don't know why my views are not going up steadily. They've gone down. So like, I think I gotta blame no one but myself. I did get in contact with Twitter, and they did grant me permission to post longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh, let's go. You're back. You're back.
Yeah, so I'm back, and I'm tempted just to repost the Larry David one because it got under 20K, and I'm just kind of like, I went super hard on this, and I poured blue cheese all over a brand new Bills hat. So,
Well, you know what's terrible is that tomorrow's Thursday, and you're actually not allowed to post anything from the past on Thursday. It's really a shitty rule that the internet has when they started. Like, I don't know, like Al Gore wrote it or something in the government. So you're not allowed to be, let's say, as the kids would say, throwing it back on a Thursday. So definitely don't post anything from the past, or else I'll definitely have you persecuted to the full power of the internet law. As the Bills get rolling here in the third quarter, we got a t-shirt drive courtesy of Bills Mafia AR. Gratwick Gaming in 26 shirts. That's not a good start to it, though. 2nd and 16.
Yes, if you don't know about that shirt is actually embedded with AR. You hold your phone up to it, and you'll see all the messages from the fans, from business owners, from people in the community, from super fans saying and welcoming our rookie class.
Yeah, I sent a video to AJ Epinesa welcoming him to the Bills where I just growled like a bear for like 26 seconds. Shout out 26 shirts. Everyone wants to be welcomed differently. I hear that AJ Epinesa has a huge Roman Reigns vibe. I'm like a wrestling guy, so we'll see if the big dog owns his yard when he comes to New Era Field.
No, I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see what they got. A steal second round in Epinesa.
he should grow out his hair. I'm getting some Khal Drago vibes.
Seriously. AJ Epinesa is going to put his son on the Iron Throne of Duffs.
That's yeah. I like that.
Okay, so that's not an ideal first drive, folks. The Bills did have a ton of momentum, 15-0 scoring run after the Houston Texans jumped out to that 13-0 lead. But the 3-and-out in the... Don't even get me started on the PTSD I might get from a bad second half here in Houston. I mean, I'm still recovering from my last one.
Oh my god.
All I can tell you is when I wasn't being bad. I was not being bad. But, like, when the Texans scored to take the lead, I was getting monstrous amount of concessions thrown at me. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, you were there?
Oh, yeah. Literally, I took it in the face.
Unbelievable. Oh, you're a brave person. Texas
Speaking
is...
of taking it in the face, Deshaun Watson flexing on him. Asante Samuel Jr. wrapping him up. Dan, Asante Samuel, he's been a revelation in the pass rush from that DB position.
We go grab him and pass forward and throw him on the field as a real person, because if we can get this corner blitz like this kid's all over the field. So fast, he's getting in the backfield, making things happen.
And you
people
see
at the line
falling apart. They're getting emotional on the sidelines. Is this an NFL game or is this keeping up with the Kardashians? 2nd and 20. Deshaun Watson looking right. He's not going to get very much, if anything. That's going to bring up 3rd and 20. Let's get the hearts out. Let's get the train horns out in the chat. Let's get over 100 on Facebook. Start telling your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your uncle. We got the Bills action live on... And
Is it a safety?
The sack. Jerry Hughes hauls him down at the 1-yard line. Oh, and he is flexing, folks. He is flexing.
It's your guy, Chris. You called it at the beginning. Scary Jerry. There he is.
I have inside information that on game day, Jerry Hughes has an alter ego that goes by Gary. And people stay out of his way on game day, dude. People don't look him in the eye. It's like a different thing. Unless the Bills go up a couple scores, you don't confront Gary Hughes on game day.
I think I saw a video of Gary Hughes after the 2018 Miami game when he was talking to the refs, telling him, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I think that was Gary Hughes.
Oh, yeah, because the ref called him the B word.
Yeah, the ref did something off the camera, and then the camera captured Jerry Hughes' reaction.
He said, yeah, I will come find you. And, like, after the game, he came and found him, and, like, it was...
He's trying to find him. And literally, a man who does what he says he's going to do, that's what the process entails.
Yeah, dude, this train never stops.
Well, try and stop that man. How many people held him back?
Oh, man, the whole team.
I think during the day, there were 3 And then there got to the point where he realized, like, there were, like, 5 refs between him and the guy, plus, like, the 3 guys. So he kind of, like, let up. And that was when he started hitting with, like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to find you.
You know, they went back and looked at the tape, and they confirmed what the ref said, and he got suspended. Like, he got in trouble.
Oh, he did? See, they swept that under the rug. I saw the Jerry Hughes video all over the place, but didn't see that nonsense.
See, that's one thing I liked about the XFL. Ref made a mistake, the guy was fired the next day.
And then the
See
whole
that?
league was fired.
No, that's true. There were, a lot of people were loving that accountability. There was a terrible call. It was like in the last minute of the game, right?
Changed the whole game. They didn't call it a touchdown. Someone turned over. The other team took it back to the house. They lost the game because of it. The guy got fired.
You know, I can speak from
love it on
experience.
paper. It's just not like a reputable way to do a business, like where if you make one mistake, like you're gonna be fired. Like everybody would be walking on eggshells if that was the case.
I used to be a Clarence soccer referee, and I can attest to shaving some minutes off the clock, and then the parent being like, "It's definitely 2 minutes left." So I put 2 minutes on the clock, and his team scored, and the other coach said, "What are you doing, man?" And I ran.
Seriously, and there is the very definition of accountability is Clarence Soccer League, no doubt about it. And speaking of accountability, Houston Texans, they went backwards on that drive. They're gonna have to punt it away.
Let's talk about Zach Sheldon's house league baseball career while we got the viewers on here.
Oh no, don't talk about that. We were already talking about that. We had as far as the regular house league players, I was upper tier. I was like middle upper tier. I was like the bourgeoisie of the Clarence House League baseball. And then the varsity players would come back, and it would be like I would know my spot. I would know my place on the field.
But it was like you were almost this chatty then, so it's just like having a commentator in the dugout, just live commentary just throughout the game. This is what the MLB might need.
We could see like people paying others to like announce their lives. Like people really think it's that important. Like no doubt about it, with reality shows, everything like that. It's only a matter of time where some Tony Stark has a Jarvis to go along with him. You know what I mean?
What are you sipping there, dude? What's your sponsor? What's your drink sponsor today?
We got Blue Light. Shout out Blue Light.
Wow.
They're the only beer company that emails me back, so I'll always shout them out. And they did mail me beer one time. I mean, I didn't know that was possible to mail beer. I always thought it got like teleported through like some kind of secret beer hyperspace. But yeah, I got beer.
Yeah, shout out to Busby's in Santa Monica having a Labatt Blue all the time. It's like incredible that they have it here in Santa Monica. I'm always impressed by that.
Oh, Dan, I know you were in Jacksonville. I don't know if you saw the Labatt Blue massacre that was taking place across all of Jacksonville, but it was insane.
Oh yeah, that was unbelievable.
What happened?
Oh my gosh, we were there. We're talking bars, Chris, out of beer, and specifically Labatt at like 7:30 p.m., 8:30, 9, and like they're still trying to stay open till like 12, full of Bills Mafia.
The parking lots were overtaken at the one place, and people were breaking
any
tables
beer.
out front. It was.
Dude, I was at Jacksonville Landing. We literally have a video. They're bringing in like probably I'd say 360 to 500 Labatt Blue Lights like at that moment. Like they're like, yeah, we just had to go to like the warehouse and get them.
They have Labatt down in Florida?
They had it. They do. It's almost like a thing. Like I swear, like the Buffalo Bills just email like city reps to wherever the Bills are traveling, and they're like, yeah, just so you know, like you're gonna want to get Labatt.
Yeah, the fan base travels well. I feel like that's really admirable, and it's kind of funny, you know, people just come to the town and kind of pillage, but like we're happy about it. It's like, I feel like Bills Mafia doesn't confront other fans. Like it's very respectful, even during the games. I mean, sometimes it gets prickly compared to other places, but you know, Bills fans are all about respect before the game starts, at least. Correct? I mean, is that right?
Well, first off, let me just blanket everything here. If someone gets blackout drunk, anything can happen. Anybody can be disrespectful. I've seen every fan base be disrespectful when they're blackout drunk, so I'm gonna clear that. With that said, it's exactly like you said. Legitimately happy pillaging. Everyone just wants to be disorderly. Everyone wants to be like fun and just have a great time. Speaking of having fun and have a great time, Josh Allen rushing down, slides short, 3rd and 3. He slides in this sim, but we never see him slide in real life. It's kind of funny. 3rd and 3, real quick, 38-yard line. Bills leading by 2. Gonna whistle.
Oh yeah.
At Croft? Nope. Bees Daddy. We got Bees Daddy with the first down. We were talking about going to other places and tailgating. Yeah, it's an absolute scene. The way I would describe it is it's legitimately like going to the zoo. So when you go to the zoo, you can see the tigers, you can see the lions. The Bills are like a traveling zoo. The Bills Mafia is a traveling zoo. So if you just want to watch Bills Mafia and everything, like have a good time, you'll be totally fine. But if you enter like the Bills Mafia tailgating area and you're in opposing, team's colors or you're saying anything, like you're literally like someone entering a tiger cage and like taunting them. Like don't be surprised when it like comes back on you. You know what I mean, you guys?
I'll say this, Zach. At least ask them if they want a beer, talk with them. If they know football knowledge, we'll talk with them, offer them something to eat. I've been in other places where they're not giving you that respect. They're looking at you saying, get out.
When we lost in Jacksonville, we were wearing Bills stuff the next day, and they were still pissed at us. Like, legitimately, if your team lost in Buffalo in the playoffs, and I saw you the next day wearing your team stuff, I'd have mad respect for you. I'd be like, wow, you're like a diehard fucking fan that you would do that.
I agree with that. And I'll tell you what, in other cities, people are like, man, you guys come here 4 days before the game. You guys come here and you drank us out of beer.
I have friends, even in this age where booking is questionable because you don't know whether it's going to be games, I got friends booking Vegas for Wednesday. The game is Sunday. Like, if you think you're going to be live by Sunday, I mean, more power to you.
No one can book anything right now, to be honest, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. 3 days in Vegas is enough.
I wanted to go to San Fran, I wanted to go to Miami, and I wanted to go to Vegas for sure this year. The way that Vegas and the Titans game worked out, I don't think I could do Vegas and Titans like back-to-back, even if they were possible.
I gotta put this out there. The 49ers have a really beautiful stadium. I worked there for a whole year. My office was like in the stadium. That being said, the games are really like being at a country club. It's like $500 to sit in the nosebleeds, and there is not a lick of shade anywhere. Although it's a primetime game, so I guess it's at night. But the traffic there is rough. It's also an hour and a half from San Francisco. So if you want to go to San Francisco, rent a car,
right?
San Jose.
Or San Jose. So yeah, so it's hard for us in Western New York, but give us like a Western New York example, right? That's like something being on like the far side of Rochester plus,
Yeah.
like between Rochester and Syracuse, right? And
Yeah.
calling it a Buffalo game.
Exactly. It's just like, how am I going to get over there? And you got to take a train, get off the train, take an Uber, and the game ends. You're like buzzed. You're trying to get an Uber out of the stadium with like another 50,000 people. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And like, it's nowhere near San Francisco. It's nowhere near the ocean. It's just like, it's near Facebook and it's near Amazon. It's like, no, dude, I came here to look at the bridge.
There you have it. If you're going to the San Fran game, make sure you got an exit plan.
Dude, yeah, seriously.
I'm gonna bring my bird into the San Fran game. That way I can just ride it right out. Right from the third level, just right out.
I have no words.
18-13. Shout out to everyone who has 8 and 3s in your squares. You're looking good for the third quarter. We're still going strong. Can we get over 100 on Facebook?
Oh my God!
It's going
into the house.
Is it him? Is it him again?
Touchdown, Mike Hyde! His fourth of the game. This one he finds the end zone, and the Bills lead 24-13.
Touchdown for you. Touchdown for you.
Come on now, the
Somebody
Bills
alert
are making it
him on
happen.
Twitter that he has 4 picks in this game.
Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Micah Hyde, can't say enough about him. Anybody who went to Iowa for school is just a hardworking person who likes having that much fun, and I respect him. He works really hard. Iowa, unbelievably boring place.
But that breakfast pizza at the gas station is different.
All of this is
In Iowa, they have like some kind of Wawa equivalent that they all like love.
I don't know. I had a roommate from Iowa when I worked at the Niners, and he was just all about go Hawks, go Hawks. And he, at the end of the internship, went back to Iowa. That was it. He couldn't stop talking about Iowa the whole time. It's like, dude, just go back.
Well, you know what they say, home is where the heart is. So obviously Iowa was home to that guy. I can't fault him.
Zach, I think you have a career waiting for you in Hallmark card writing and just kind of short phrases.
Oh, I'm definitely in discussions with Hallmark. We got to keep those We got to keep those below the table though, because they're not out yet. Speaking of what is in the public, at one point the Houston Texans led this game 13-0. I want to say there was roughly 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Chris Collins had his finger on the X. He was ready to click out of this box and go try out for an audition in a new SVU season. But instead, he stuck with us. The Bills stuck with this process. And now, Dan Gambino, we are on a 25-0 run.
Close it out, man. Close it out. The defense can do what they always do. Come up big here. Close this game out.
You know what? I'm coming up with a new name for the Bills defense. They're the boa constrictor. They're not going to knock you out. They're not going to just hit you with like a quick stinger. They are going to wrap themselves around you. They're going to get intimate with you. And then they are going to slowly watch you die as they develop.
Suck the life right out of you.
What a visceral description by Zach Sheldon, the Maniac. They call him the Maniac, guys.
Well, shout out to Nicki Minaj. She got the Anaconda. I mean, that was a great song we all loved back in the day. Great movie, too. Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez in the same movie. Are you kidding me?
I don't co-sign either of those pieces of media.
Well, let's face it. The Anaconda, like, special effects were ridiculous. But the cast was awesome. Jennifer Lopez, John Voight, Ice Cube, that one European guy.
You can make up anything right now, I believe you, because no one's seen that movie, much less me.
Okay. Well, it had sequels. When a movie has a sequel, it has to achieve some level of, like, notoriety.
Sequels usually never follow up, though.
Oh, yeah, never. It's hard to find a sequel that says
Shrek 2. Shrek 2 was huge.
Shrek 2 was legit. Holy smokes.
But you look at, like, Anchorman 2, Sandlot 2.
Oh, no. There was a Sandlot 2?
3 Sandlots.
Looking at the Disney
Money
film,
grab.
Disney is like the worst sequel company that ever existed.
Toy Story 2 actually smacks, but you're right, though. The rest of them.
Pixar. So luckily they added Pixar, who does know how to do sequels. Like they can do Incredibles 2. I agree with you 100%. Pixar can do sequels. But look at Disney's track record of sequels. The Lion King, Aladdin, they all got sequels, and they were just all beyond forgettable.
Yeah. Are those sequels or those remakes? Those live action ones?
They're like sequels. It's like Aladdin 2, Jafar's Return.
Oh, boy.
A Lion King, The Rise of
I
Whoever.
love the live action remakes. I'm all day with those live action pieces. More jobs for actors. Let's go.
Have you seen... Thank you.
Shout out to the guild, am I right?
Yo, I got a residual check. Should I show it to you guys? It's really funny.
Let's go. It's all about that residual. Speaking of that residual, I think we are going into the fourth quarter, and the Bills are having a residual effect on this Texans defense. We're rolling along here. Dan Gambino, CEO, Code Sox, Chris Collins, viral sensation / Hansel of the Bills Mafia universe. You're throwing us the check. There we go.
Disney.
Hashtag paid. Getting paid.
Disney worldwide. 4 cents.
Hashtag Disney dollars.
4 cents.
Disney cents, bro.
Oh, I'm not on video.
A whole new world. All right, I'm done. All right, 2nd and 1 coming up, 34-yard line, and there it is, Dan Gambino and Drew Gear's favorite formation, the I formation.
It's down. Move the chains. It's not going to be that upset today.
Run an efficient play on 2nd and 1, get 1.
It's way better than the empty backfield 2nd and 14 or 2nd and 5 and the.
We got my man Smoke muscling for a first down, but we got laundry on the field, and it looks like this one's coming back. Mitch Morse, are you kidding me? The Morse code gets called for holding? Disgraceful.
Heck, if this were a real game, would you be happy right now, or would you be a little nervous?
Oh my God, I'm ecstatic. But the thing is, it's like act like you've been there before. I don't know how the Bills like comfortably hold the lead. So when the Bills have a lead, I'm just like laughing like giddily. Like, have you ever seen Parks and Rec? It's like when Leslie Knope is around like Joe Biden or Michelle Obama. Like it's like basically I'm like, oh my God, the Bills are good. Like, that's basically how I'm acting at this point. Like, and I don't want to blow it because I know that anything I say could jinx this team at any point.
Totally, dude.
We got Z McClain on the bench. We got Tremaine. We got Epinesa. They're just chumming it up. That's all the defense is doing right now, Dan. They're just chumming it up on the bench, enjoying themselves.
Who picked these uniforms? Because I see the throwback helmet, but the modern white jersey.
Sometimes we vote for the viewers. I think. Oh, we got it. Buffalo.
Who is that man?
Kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your head back and come on now. The Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now.
It's like a rookie to me.
A random Caucasian gentleman ran the ball in the end zone for the Buffalo Bills, and they go up.
Computer generated random Caucasian.
I'll tell him
Yeah. Buffalo's happening now. We're on the move.
Scary Movie 2 someone brought up.
Okay, I'll give credit to Scary Movie 2. That was a legit sequel.
My strong hand.
I don't even call it. Those aren't even sequels. Those are just those are anthologies. They just give the same name to it.
That's true. They don't really need to create a new story because they're using the parodies of the other stories. Very interesting. What about, you know what I could go for? Not another teen movie 2. When would that come out?
Yeah, great movie.
Chris Evans, OG? Are you kidding me? Chris Evans coming out with whipped cream on his wiener. You're not going to see that nowadays. Shout out to that Snowpiercer.
Finish his beer.
I'm through 2. I'm through two Labatt tall boys.
Is Shoop in the building? Is Shoop in the building?
Labatt, ship me more. By the way, speaking of a disgrace, Texans have 75 yards of total offense. Can you even believe they agreed to play this game?
The Bills adjust, dude. They adjust very well. Those halftime adjustments, man. If I could be in the fly on the wall, I'll tell you what, man. Those guys do a heck of a job.
I wish I could sneak into the Bills locker room at halftime, just all Bills garb, just stand there in the background, just clapping it up, just clapping it up.
Yeah,
And
they
a
would.
pat on the back.
Oh, big pats on the back, whooping it up, maybe like a little whoop, like, you know.
Is Shoop in the building, Zach? Does Shoop live with you?
Shoop does not live with me because you know why? He has his own property, Studio D, Studio Diane in Cheektowaga. So shout out to Degenerate Al. We actually just filmed a preview video for Trainwreck Sports. We'll be releasing it tomorrow. The WGR 550 crew on Friday will be doing a Seinfeld draft, gentlemen. So I don't want to get too deep into it here, but are you guys big connoisseurs? Are you guys masters of your domain, so to speak?
Oh, dude. R.I.P. Jerry Stiller just passed away.
Seriously, that was a big shout out on the episode.
Like 2 days ago, right? He passed.
Serenity now!
Big time Serenity now, dude.
Airing of grievances.
Your mother would never be like Lloyd Braun.
I love Seinfeld, dude. I'm a big David Puddy guy. Underrated character.
So we were talking, they have 4 people selecting in the Seinfeld draft, 8 rounds. We're talking about over-unders for that. We'll get into it a little bit. 19-point Bills game. You got to kill time somehow. Even though the Texans are driving, so I'm not jinxing it. This game is far from over. But we were talking about, like, you know, some characters where they get drafted. One character, or no, we were talking about a bunch. Like, you know, Steinbrenner, the Maestro, Putty, Kruger, Uncle Leo, Kenny Banta. You know, which one of the, who do you think maybe might be the most underrated Seinfeld character was?
Jay Peterman, big for me. Jay Peterman's voice is just hilarious, and he's in like, you know, the jungle talking about, you know, fur hats. His voice gets me, dude. Jay Peterman, really good.
Shout out to the Jay Peterman catalog. A ton of style there. Speaking of style points, Eddie-O brings down Deshaun Watson. Save a horse, ride a quarterback. Eddie-O pumping that sack total. Dan, do you have a underrated Seinfeld character you might want to pop up?
Definitely not underrated, but the Soup Nazi. I mean, come on. How can you go anywhere without the Soup Nazi?
Well, the great point that was made to me by my Seinfeld insider, who I've been corresponding with, was that the one episode characters in Seinfeld sometimes are more potent than some of the recurring characters. Like, for example, in a Seinfeld draft, you would almost never dream of drafting Gary's dad, Gordy Seinfeld, even though he is a great character. The Del Boca Vista, you know, ongoing saga cannot be underrated. But you would never draft Morty Seinfeld over the Soup Nazi.
No, never. He's
No,
forgettable.
I would go underrated show, like physical show would be the Top of the Muffin to you.
Oh,
They
big
started.
time.
That's my favorite show.
Just
my
like
favorite.
that was a great idea. This game is not done, folks. The Texans find the end zone on 4th down. Deshaun Watson finds a hole in that Bills zone defense. And the Texans have their first offensive touchdown of the game. Just about, let's see, do my 11th grade math. 54 minutes into this game, 53 minutes into this game. So very impressive showing by the Bills defense. They'll carry a 12-point lead with 6 minutes and 39 seconds to go. Time might be running out, and time is always running out when it comes to ordering soup from the Soup Nazi, but we're talking about underrated characters, overrated characters. My thing was I would not draft Uncle Leo. Uncle Leo would go undrafted.
Yeah, he stinks. I like the one-off character was Jimmy, who speaks in the third person, who takes out Elaine from the gym. He's like, Jimmy likes you. Yeah, Jimmy's new to town.
Oh,
Jimmy
Jimmy would have a big role in this draft, no doubt about it. No, I'm not talking third person. I'm talking about the actual Jimmy, of course. Huge shout out to when and not only does he get to date Elaine, but he loops George into the shoes, right?
Oh yeah.
So he gets the double entendre. Like, you gotta love the role players in Seinfeld. Like, even your David Puddy, he wasn't just Elaine's on again, off again fling. He was also the face painter, and he was also
a grease
Harry
monkey.
Star salesman.
He was a mechanic first, and they called him a grease monkey. He's like, don't call me that. I don't like it.
Yeah, we were talking about.
And he has a jacket.
Getting car, or they're negotiating for the car, and they start negotiating the relationship, and David Puddy wants to go to Arby's. So 90s, dude. Can you imagine 2020 even discussing that?
I love when they're on the plane and they're breaking up and getting back together. He's like, you're talking old vegetable lasagna over here.
Oh, this lasagna guy. I mean, R.I.P. because Puddy just killed him with that commentary on him.
Dude, I was in an acting class with David Puddy's son, whose name escapes me, but the actor's son was in my acting class, and he admitted to me he hadn't really watched Seinfeld. He only saw a few episodes that his dad was in, and I almost cursed him out. But his son was a giant human being, dude. Puddy's like a big dude. His son was huge. And shout out to him. Wow, is Josh just running for his life right now? Wow, it gets down to the 35.
I mean, I don't want to let my whole life be dictated by TV, but if my father was David Puddy, I'd probably like change my name legally to Son of Puddy. Like, I don't want people to get confused. Like, oh, is that Puddy's son? Like, yeah, his name's Son of Puddy. Like, who do you think he is?
Just, yeah, not even a junior, just that's my dad.
I've learned that life is best lived when you eliminate any room for interpretation.
Well, let's get down to the the elephant in the room where I messaged your team saying let's do a wing review, and you said, "All right, this is Chris Collins, the corrupt congressman's son. We got to stay away."
I'm gonna kill you. No, this is so funny, dude. So you were messaging us about doing a wing review, which is totally legit. You actually you used to know Scream back in the day too. Like, you knew me, but like we didn't even know that because of the friggin' 6 degrees of.
I knew Tyler Sleep in not kindergarten, in preschool. We hung out when we were 4. And
That's
he was
a
a giant kid.
napping together. Real friends nap together.
Dude, he was in preschool. He was probably like 4'7", 80 pounds.
That's a unit, dude. That's
Dude,
an
he was a house.
activity.
He was dunking. I was over here I was like 3'9", 50. He was just a house. We'd walk around and I'd untie people's shoes, slap people, and he would just, answer for me, dude. He was huge.
Dude, the fact that you labeled yourself at a 4-year-old as 3'9", 50.
That was a wrong number. I don't know.
So obviously you're doing your thing out on the West Coast. We get it. You're a big deal. You have an IMDb page and everything. But no, so then I'm checking the DMs for wing reviews. So this thing, people don't realize, like, when they message the Trainwreck Sports account, like, obviously when we're doing giveaways and things, we have an eye out on. But we're switching between the Trainwreck Sports account, personal account, wing reviews, and then like our 70 burners we have to make everything popular. Obviously, it's a huge ordeal. But sometimes we miss like the messages on like a certain account, obviously. So then I was just scrolling through in February or March, and I saw the one from Chris, and I'm like, oh, like Tyler, you actually like know this guy? He's like, oh yeah, like damn, like we should have definitely done that. I'm like, should we have done that? Like I go, Chris Collins is like under a lot of trouble right now. Do we really want to have his?
You idiot. His son's name is Cameron.
I got it.
Touchdown Bills. Touchdown Bills.
Foster the people. Or no, that's not Foster the people. I'm sorry, I'm using number 16. That is the new Bills draft pick rookie making a big touchdown to put the Bills up 3 possessions and basically lock down this Houston game. That was Anthony Schwartz, by the way. Inside Schwartz, getting it done. Schwartz loop. And yeah, he's gonna put the Bills up by 3 scores. But it was very funny because before Chris even started his reign of terror on social media with all his great videos, he was asking me winger music. I'm like, who is this guy? So very funny the way things happen. Obviously, we got 3:15, 38-20 left, 39-20 Bills. Shout out if you had 9-0 in your squares. Dan G, we're winding down here. Obviously, just over 3 minutes left. Anything going on Code Sox? I know we got the new shirt on the site, everything like that. Anything else rocking?
Yeah, we got a couple things in the work. You're gonna see a new shirt coming out soon. You're gonna see a couple new pairs of socks coming out. You know, obviously we had big aspirations to have the Bills Mafia homecoming party again. Hashtag Mafia homecoming party. Can't put Bills in front of it. But we were looking forward to that. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen anytime soon until we see what goes on with all the bars and the social gatherings. But stay tuned to Code Sox because we're gonna try and find a way to make everything happen.
I don't wanna lead anyone on, but I think with some patio and some outdoor connections we might have, that might not be out of the works yet, Dan.
Not 100% out of the works, so let's not let it down. It might just be later in the season, not be before the first Bills game this year.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, let's face it. This is a whole different season than last year. Last year, we had the bye week after week 5. So it was kind of an early bye week. We have, I think it's after week 11 this season, so it's definitely a more, if you're an experienced team and you have confidence in yourself, I mean, that's when you want your bye, later in the season so you can rest up. Maybe we could do it then. I mean, week 11 might be a better time for things getting together, and then protocols, again, obviously, it's all speculations, but shout out to some of the comments coming in.
These are
We
good
got After Festivus. We got
Tim Watley, Brian Cranston.
the Tim Watley. That's the thing. Brian Cranston.
That's big.
Seinfeld, like, I grew up, when I was growing up, Brian Cranston was the dad in Malcolm in the Middle. I don't know about you, so that's who he was for me, like the ridiculous dad in Malcolm in the Middle. Then seeing him on Seinfeld was like a transformation because he was this serious character who was like business focused, also maybe sexually assaulting his patients, which was like a joke in the 90s. That just shows
He converted to Judaism for the jokes as well.
Yeah. He converted for the jokes. He also tried to springboard an upstairs invite into a Super Bowl sex prom. So don't forget that.
Yeah, he was rogue. He was going with it.
He was definitely rogue. 120 to go. Folks, I know I'm a broken record, but get along. Go follow Chris, CO11INS on Instagram, Twitter. You are not going to regret it. I promise. There are very few things that I can say that for. He is one of them. It's great content, and I'm sure there will be more coming out. Texans are trying to get garbage points in this fantasy game that we're rocking, that we have going on. Under a minute to go.
Oh, wow. Watson goes down like a sack of potatoes. Love that sack. Who was that?
I don't know. They typically show who got the sack on there, but did not release the info. And there will be another one. My goodness. Just padding. And see, when they take the time out, it doesn't show you who has the stat. It's terrible. You don't get to see the
15. Here we go.
The Texans need the 30-yard line in 4th and game. It is game already, but we'll play it up.
Oh,
and they complete it. Okay. So we're down to the 20.
The question is, can Micah Hyde go for another interception to end this
I'll
game?
say yes.
This is prime territory for it.
Ooh.
Is that Dante Samuel Jr.? I think that was 22, getting his second sack of the game. Second and 21. Texans out of timeouts. They're going to throw over the middle of the pick. It is. Is that him?
Tim.
It's not him. My God.
Tim.
This is the pick of the game. It's not the third. It's not the fourth. The fifth time is the charm. The fifth time is the charm for Micah Hyde. The Bills will wrap up this Houston Texans annihilation with a bow. The Texans jumped out to a 13-0 lead, folks. The Bills are about to win this game 39-20. You don't need a math degree to realize that the Bills closed this game on a 39-7 run. And Dan, it's the best formation in football.
Behind the I formation.
Most definitely. And you got the I formation, and then you got the my formation. The Bills are going to bounce back with a huge win here in Week 4. They stuttered in the beginning. It was a slow start, but the offense put the pedal to the metal. They were Vin Diesel and Too Fast, Too Furious. They're going to win this game 39-20. Next week, though, that's the matchup a lot of Bills fans have had circled. The Buccaneers. Tom Brady not on the team anymore, but it's a chance to exert some dominance at home and get back to their winning ways. As you see, 39-20. The Bills dominated statistics across the board. Shout out for you guys, dominating the viewership, tuning in throughout the episode again. Follow Chris Collins on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Chris, C-O-11-I-N-S. He's rocking on there. We got Code Socks, Dan Gambino, Codes_Socks on Instagram, Twitter, Code Socks, one word on Facebook. Make sure you're giving them a follow for all kinds of giveaways, new items, and fun like that. And then don't leave out Gratwick Gaming, Gratwick Productions. Follow along. Gratwick Game Night, are you kidding me? Rocket League 2v2 tournaments coming up in June for $100. Are you kidding me? Playing video games in a free roll.
Are you kidding me?
Sounds like the best world I could be in. Any shout-outs, boys, before we say goodbye to these viewers?
Shout out Big Al Shoop, dude, Degenerate Al and Tyler Sleep. You know, shout out to everybody holding it down back in Buffalo, and my mom. Shout out to her bringing a tear to Zach's eye, and these gentlemen for having me on, Chris and my other friend here, and Zach. Obviously, thank you for bringing me on. Really happy to be here. It's been awesome.
Shout out to everyone across the board. Shout out to Chris Collins for joining us. Folks, make sure you're following the Discord community for Gratwick Gaming so you can join in on that free roll Rocket League tournament. I think everybody I know is everybody Rocket League, so make sure you're joining in 2v2. You might match up against some celebrities like Chris. You never know. So we got Chris. Big shout out to Dan Gambino, my co-host from Code Socks. Big shout out to our
Shout out to him.
From Chris Holbert and Andrea at Gratwick Gaming. And a huge shout out to our team here at Trainwreck Sports, and of course the paramount shout out to you all tuning in. It's a lot of fun. It's great to connect with you guys during this time. Most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy, because you know when it's Chris Collins, Code Socks, Gratwick Gaming, and Trainwreck Sports, this fun, these jokes, these Seinfeld references, and this NFQL action never stops.